So the next question comes from Justin JMB. What's going on, Justin? He asks, in your eyes, who should be the one to dethrone each current champion? Oh man, this sucks because I saw this question in the community tab and I told myself that you need to take a second, breathe, figure out the answers for this question so you can sound at least a little smart, okay? So you can say something on the videos that don't sound stupid. And saying things stupid is is a pretty natural habitat for me sometimes. But it is what it is. That's all with the fun. But since I'm not prepared here, what I'll do, Justin, is let you know off the top of my head. Some of these people I've already thought about, but some I'll just come up with right now who I think should dethrone the other champions. And on top of that, when they become the new champions, who they should feud with. So let's look up the current champions right now. Let me do my Googles. Let me see what's going on right here. Okay. This website looks like it got a virus on it. This one looks like it got a bunch of ads on it. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. All right, so we got a list right here. So we'll start off with the first ones here, and that is the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Now, the champions currently are Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and the problem is both of these guys are injured. So it's safe to say that most likely they're either gonna have to drop the titles to someone or vacate the titles. So either way, I still have the same team picked for this, and if you guys have been watching my videos, you know exactly who I'm going to pick. And who I'm going to pick is JD and Finn Balor to take those championships. Now, some people may think, well, why, how, why would you do that? What is it? Listen, I have a surprise for you. There's a video on my channel where it says why JD actually attacked Sami Zayn. It's something like that, somewhere around that realm. And that explains my booking step by step on how this can work out, how this can benefit the Judgment Day, and how this can create a compelling story. Now, viewer discretion advised. When you go to watch that video, I say JD's last name wrong a bunch of times. I called him JD McDonald. Yes, like Ronald McDonald, okay? And either it's going to do one, two, or three things to you, okay? You're either going to get pissed off because I'm saying his name wrong, or you're going to laugh at it because it's stupid, or it's going to make you want to order a McFlurry. I don't know. Either way, you're going to feel something, but if you're fine with all of that, go ahead and check out that channel. But as I said, okay, it should be JD and Finn Balor. And my personal opinion, in my eyes, like Justin would say, I feel like their first opponent should be Gallows and Anderson, because JD just needs a tune-up tag feud. He don't need to have a high-profile tag feud right now because it'll be his first time tag teaming with Finn Balor. So yeah, let it be for them. And also, this feud can create a lot of possibilities, guys. I know this whole thing about SmackDown and Raw, they're on two different brands, but at this point, they're not really doing a brand split. They said it, but they're not doing it. And one of the main things I said is if they don't stay consistent with this for 6 months, I don't believe it. And still to this day, I don't believe in a brand split. So let's ignore that, okay? And the things that can come out of this is like a feud between AJ Styles and Damian Priest. Can you imagine a match between those two? That would be amazing. Like a war between the Judgment Day and the OC, okay? And then also ultimately we'll have a feud between Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley, which I think Mia Yim is a way better opponent than anyone left on Raw to face Rhea Ripley, in my personal opinion. I think that'll be a great matchup. But for me, again, Finn Balor, JD, and they should continue to have a feud with the Good Brothers. And hopefully when they decide they want to take the titles off of JD and Finn Balor, I would think that they should have DIY take it off of them. I think that would be great if they bring DIY back at some point or another. Hopefully Ciampa just stay healthy and just bring Johnny Gargano back on the TV. All right, so the next championship we're going to talk about, okay, we're going to talk about the other end of the spectrum. And we're going to talk about the ladies, okay? The ladies, the tag team championships for the women on the main roster, and this being held by Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. And what the heck is going on with these tag team championships, guys? Like, why does everybody who touch these belts, somebody is getting hurt? They're getting hit with the injury bug left and right. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. Sonya Deville got supported ACL. What is happening? Is Tony Khan doing voodoo? Like, what is he doing? Like, why is the tag team champions division on both sides getting attacked by this? I don't know. I have no idea. But all I'll say is that I believe that this may end up in another situation like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. My assumption for that is that maybe these ladies will have to vacate the titles, or they'll just have to drop them, because coming back from the torn ACL, I mean, you're going to need time to recover. You're not going to just bounce back and get back in the ring. So with that being said, at first, I thought that maybe Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell should be the next champions. I think that would be cool to see that happen. I think that would be great champions to hold that. But at the same time, I don't know what they're doing with them, and they haven't really been on TV. It'll be great to see them on TV again. But if they don't choose them, in my personal opinion, it has to be Kaden Carter and Katata Chance. I think that would be great because I thought they were trying to push them when they first came to Raw. It seemed like they were getting matches and getting a lot of spotlight. So I think it's time for some new blood and actual tag teams who are actual tag teams because too many times in the women's division, they just take two wrestlers, put them together. Hey, you guys keep your name and just win the tag team championship belt. So I think having actual tag teams will have actually help this. And with that being said, I think their first feud with those titles is kind of going back to NXT. I understand people are like, that's repetitive and lazy, but they can face Isla Dawn and Alba Fire as their next opponent. I think that'll be really like great to see because they already have chemistry. It's two tag teams who are actual tag teams. And what I don't understand is when they unified the tag team championship on NXT for the women and the ones on the main roster, why didn't we get a new design? But also on top of that, if you notice, which is really weird, ever since Isla Dawn and Alba Fire lost those tag team championships, every woman that carried the unified championships, they all got hurt. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are completely healthy. Maybe they're the ones putting witchcraft on people. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, they will have to be the new tag team champions for the ladies. All right. So let's move it over to let's see what we got here. Let's go to the United States Championship belt, and that is Austin Theory. Now, Austin Theory is my guy, but his title run has been completely flat. I mean, he was in the Battle Royal at SummerSlam, and if you didn't see him win the championship belt, if you never seen him wear it, you would never know that he was champion. Because that day, you would never know because he didn't even get the entrance for it. Nothing. He was just there. They don't know what to do with him at this point. So for me, it's time to take the title off of him, man. You can't keep him with the title. It makes no sense. It's too dry. So for me, if I had to pick someone to win the United States Championship belt, again, I'm just going to have to forego the whole brand split. For me, I would love to see Chad Gable win that U.S. Championship. I know he's facing Gunther, but there's no part of me that believe that he's winning that match, especially at Payback. It's not going to make any sense at all, in my personal opinion. But I'm going to have Chad Gable win it, and I think the person that Chad Gable should face, to be honest with you, either A, it could be Sheamus, which I think will be great, or B, it could be Karrion Kross, which will also be great. And because WWE doesn't know what to do with Karrion Kross, he has Lacey Evans-itis, where they don't know what they're going to do with them next. They always make him start, stop, start, stop. So at least get him on TV. I know he has this whole thing with AJ Styles, but even then, that whole thing don't seem like they have any idea what they want to do. It just seems like we have to have this happen because we're paying this guy. So we got to get him on the screen somehow. So with that being said, again, Chad Gable should win the U.S. Championship in my personal opinion. So on the other side of the spectrum with the IC Championship for Gunther, all right? So I don't think he's going to lose the championship anytime soon. As long as he holds it all the way to Royal Rumble, at that point, he will be the longest reigning IC champion of all time. At this point, I think he only needs 138 days. And I think December or the beginning of January? Beginning of January is Royal Rumble. And at that point, he will be way past those many days. So I wanted Drew McIntyre to win it at SummerSlam. Obviously, it didn't happen. I feel like Drew McIntyre is going to turn heel, which is going to put him in a whole different direction. But to win the IC Championship for me, honestly, I would love to see Sheamus win it because that's the championship he hasn't won yet. But if they didn't choose him, I would love to see Johnny Gargano win it off of Gunther. And to see a match between Johnny Gargano and Gunther will be a great match if they don't decide to put DIY back together. I think that'll be great to see, but ultimately, I would love to see Sheamus win it. Like to be honest with you, that would be great to see. And I know it seems kind of repetitive because we already seen a match with them at WrestleMania and so on and so forth. But you got to think about it. We need people who could be able to take those chest chops. And speaking of chest chops, like if Big E was healthy, I'll pick him. I honestly was waiting for a moment. Even when Gunther was NXT, I told people, I was like, I can't wait to see Gunther come to the main roster, or at the time he was Walter, to face Big E. That would be a great match to see. Big E is crazy strong, so to see him toss around Gunther, at the time he was like bigger Gunther, now he's like slimmer Gunther. But back then when he was bigger Gunther, to see him get flipped around like that, that will be crazy. But again, I'm picking Sheamus for this one. All right, so the next championship we're gonna go with. All right, so we're gonna go with the ladies, okay? The main ladies championship belt. So for the WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky, I hate to say and think about the fact that she may lose the championship belt. She's one of my favorites, man. I love Io Sky. I've been a big fan of hers forever. But at some point, you got to lose that championship belt. So I did build up a fantasy booking in another video where I said, it's titled, what is the title? Should Bailey turn on Io Sky? So if you go through all that, you'll see how it all sets up. But for me, at the end of the day, if it turns out the way I want it to turn out, I know people would vie for Bailey to win that championship belt. I understand that. I get that. But for me, I'm gonna have to go with Dakota Kai. I think she should win that championship belt. Like it'll be great to see with Dakota Kai, and especially if she turns into that heel Dakota, crazy Dakota, as I call her, that she was when she was attacking Tegan Knox in NXT, especially when they were in that War Games match. I think they should send her back to that mode. And who should Tegan or who should Dakota Kai face after that? That is a good question. That's a good question. I mean, she could turn around and feud with Bailey if she wants to. I mean, they can keep that going. That don't have to be something that has to stop just because she wins the championship belt. All right. So the next championship for the ladies is Rhea Ripley, the world's women's world champion, WWE's WWC, WWEC, WWC, and Rhea Ripley. So I think who should take the title off of her? Um, at first I was thinking Shayna Baszler, but I don't think it's time for her yet. I don't think they've gotten her at a place where it's time for her to be champion yet. I don't think she's believable at this moment, but I know they're doing a big push for her. So we're gonna save her for later. But I think the person who should take the championship off of Rhea Ripley, it should be Mia Yim. It should be Mia Yim. And I know people are like, what? Mia Yim? She's not great in the ring. She's not this. Guys, not every champion has to be the greatest in all departments of their career. Like that's not. There's wrestlers in the past that people absolutely love this day that isn't that great in the ring but good on the mic and vice versa. So for me, Mia Yim should take it off of her. It'll be a great heartwarming moment. Mia Yim has a great story that she can use as far as her road to facing Rhea Ripley about in the past and stuff that she's been through that can gain the affection of the fans, especially the casual fans. I think that would be great for her. She may not be the greatest in the ring to most people, but I think she will be great. I think it will make sense for her to win because she is sort of a brawler, powerhouse style wrestler. But at the same time, with her holding the championship, it's not like Rhea Ripley where the power scale is so weird. Like Rhea Ripley's all the way up here and everybody else is down here. Mia Yim is somewhere around here. So if she can face someone and someone doesn't have to be that crazy in the ring for her to seem like she's in danger, and someone doesn't have below her can still feel like it'll be a chance that the person below her could beat her, even if they are a heel. So for me, I think that would be a great idea. And if Mia Yim wins the championship, they can have Shayna Baszler turn heel like she was in NXT and then face Mia Yim after that because they're best friends. So they got a story already there. Shayna Baszler was at Mia Yim's wedding. They were roommates before. So with that being said, that story kind of already writes itself. So I think that it should be Mia Yim. And then after that, she should face Shayna Baszler. All right. So let's continue on to the men's championships. Okay. Sorry it's taking so long. So we got the undisputed WWE Universal Ketchup and Mustard Championship. Roman Reigns, who's at a reign of 1,072 days. As I said before, Roman Reigns is not losing this championship before WrestleMania. Not going to happen. Sorry. It is what it is. So for someone to take it off of him, I believe it's the obvious answer. I think the person to take it from him should be Cody Rhodes. I think that he should just finish the story. And I think it's a great long-term booking. We started with Cody Rhodes. He just got to WWE. Even though everybody felt like he was ready to win, he wasn't. And he went through all these things physically with Brock Lesnar. That's why I think he should face Bray Wyatt next. But Bray Wyatt is dealing with some illness. So, prayers out to him. But if he's able to come back, that should be his next thing. So then you'll see Cody go through physical stuff. He have to go through mental stuff with the Fiend, and then eventually he'll develop more of a character and become stronger to face Roman Reigns. Back then he wasn't ready, and it's crazy because in a sense it'll be flip flopped. So Roman Reigns at that time that Cody faced him, he had the whole bloodline around him, and Cody Rhodes was by himself, battling all these demons by himself. As far as people trying to get into his head and talk about his father, you can see that it was getting to him in those segments, especially with Paul Heyman, where he was like trying not to go crazy and stuff like that. But then this time when he faces Roman Reigns again, Roman Reigns will be a whole different person. He won't have the bloodline around him. Even the wise man will be gone. And Cody Rhodes will be a whole different person when he faces him. I don't know if you guys ever played a video game where, like maybe Zelda Ocarina of Time, where Link was younger, or any game like that, and he sees Gandalf, he can't save him from the princess because he's not strong enough. And then the time that they meet again, he has all these items, all these hearts, all these weapons. He's a lot older. He's a lot stronger. And in a sense, I think that story can be told within a year with Cody Rhodes. And again, he definitely has to finish the story. So I think that needs to happen. And for the match, that the person who needs to take the belt off of Seth Rollins, and this is barring WWE signing any big stars or anything like that. So I believe the person who should take the championship belt off of Seth Rollins, in my personal opinion, if Damian Priest does not cash it in, then I think it should be AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles to take it. I was kind of hoping that Randy Orton would be the one to take it, but he's dealing with some injuries and things like that. So, with that being said, I would love to see, personally for me, I said in a video before, a story about Edge possibly having that championship belt and then Seth Rollins taking it off of him at WrestleMania. And by losing that match, that means that Edge has to ultimately just retire. Like, he has to go home. Edge like gets the belt somehow and says, "Hey, if I lose this belt at any time, it's time for me to sail into the sunset. That means it's over." Or you can have Edge face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in his last opportunity to take that belt off of Seth Rollins. And I think that that will be a great opportunity to happen. But we're talking about people who should take it off. But again, I think that AJ Styles should take it off of Seth Rollins. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace. Have a good day.